my coffee. Hey, hello, hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm miacaven, and I said that in the wrong way, but I don't give a fuck. Today is probably the least interesting video I'm ever going to make, but I thought I'd make it anyway because I've seen loads of people do it, and when you think about it, it really seems uninteresting. But here we are, anyways. So I spent a week off my phone, is what this is about, but I also spent 2 weeks off social media, and I'm still off of it. Like, I'm on it for a minute a day, quite literally. I go onto Twitter, tweet something, fuck off, basically. I think I've done this, like, take a proper break about 3 times in the 8 years of me having a phone. And if you think about it like that, that is fucking terrifying, that it is so little. Like, that's just not a lot, you know? So here's the reason why I did it. Usually I do it for my mental health, so when I'm, you know, not in a good place and I just feel like social media is not benefiting me greatly, you know, that's when I usually take a break. So I kind of had like a spiral breakdown. I was just like, fuck it, I'm getting frustrated, I'm spiraling, my phone is just not helping me, and you know, there were several issues that I might get into, but you know, it wasn't just the physical phone. So yeah, that's that, and social media was purely because, you know, my mental health. I did it out of impulse. I didn't plan it. I didn't tell anyone, which I should have. I was just getting freaked out. If I talk about it candidly, I was just getting freaked out because I think I was surrounding myself with people that actually just didn't do anything for me. and I came back from my break, and I told them that, and you know, I feel a lot better now. But anyways, that's not the point. I told myself I'd just turn it off for a day, and it ended up being like a week. And in all honesty, I could have gone on longer, but I have work on my phone, and I didn't tell people that I had turned my phone off, and so I had to turn it back on. But I will get into what I'm doing now. Social media breaks are a lot easier for me than phone breaks, because like my phone will have like innocent games on it, and Pinterest, and you know, all these things. And now I've found a way to just do that shit on my laptop, so I don't even need my phone. Like, now that I'm off of that like phone break, I'm still off my phone. So I only go on it once a day, and that's at night. Not right before I sleep, but it's at night. I will be in bed watching a film, and I'll go on it during the film, and then I put it away, and then after the film I will continue to write a bit on my book, and then that's right before I sleep, and then I'll put meditation music on. So not right before I sleep, but it is at night. So I've had a whole day of not stressing, not being on it, this, that, and the other. And it's really benefiting me, 100%. I think I feel so much better than I did, and I wasn't continuously stressing and talking to people that I just didn't want to be talking to. And I think we've been so caught up in this like last few generations of like replying and expectations and of others, and it just really helps putting it away. But in that sense, but I think also like the issue for me during that phone break was I had a lot of anxiety turning it off. So I turned it off on impulse, and then I had a lot of anxiety turning it back on, because I was scared that I was going to see something I didn't want to see. I get a text I didn't want to get, not get a text that I wanted to get. You know, the list kind of just goes on, and I create these like bad scenarios in my head of like, well, what's the worst possible situation that could happen here? And it's so stupid, and it's so silly, and it's so insignificant. It really is. And I see that now, hence why I'm able to like put it away for a day, do everything at night, and I'm realizing like I'm pretty much addicted to my phone. Like my family take the piss out of me all the time. They literally say I'm addicted to my phone. I think I'm also addicted to my laptop. I do everything on my laptop, but the point is, I'm realizing like don't even need it that much. Like I can do everything from my laptop that I need to do. I can write my book. I've got my YouTube scripts. I've got the camera just for the YouTube and for the YouTube videos, and I've got YouTube and I watch YouTube religiously. It is always on. I had last week I had 350 videos in my watch list. I'm officially on 180 something, I think. So I've watched that many videos in that time, like, and I'm making sure like all the content I intake, I've always made sure of this, but because it's so important, but the content that I intake is positive and content I want to make, or you know, just positive things. So I'm realizing like I go on my phone and I'm texting my friends and I'm catching up with them, and I'll play my games. I have this house game on my phone. I wish I could get it on my laptop. I'm so obsessed with it. I've had it for a year, over a year. I love this game. It calms me down so much. It's such a good fucking game. It's called Design Home, I think. Oh my god, this is the penniest coffee I ever did make. I'll go through whatever I need to go through. I'll set like reminders or alarms or something that I need. And that's it. That just goes on for an hour and a half, 2 hours max, because I'm watching a film. So I use it throughout my film. And I'm just realizing how much I don't need it and how much of a stress it can be when it's continuously there. And it's weird because I thought I would adapt differently, but I'm actually loving it. I'm loving it. The amount of times I fucking say that, McDonald's used to get ready and sponsor me. I'm turning my phone back on. Was I presented with all my anxieties? No. I got the text I wanted to get, and I was a little bit bombarded by people being worried, but that's completely my fault. But aside from that, I got the text I wanted to get. I didn't get any bad texts. You know, it's just me in my brain. And I think like being off of it, that's one of the, I want to talk about like the benefits it's had, but being off of it, that's one of the benefits it's had. It's like I'm less in my brain. I'm more focused on like actually filling my brain with positive things, and I'm purely focused on me. And I feel like when I'm on my phone waiting for texts, talking to people, I'm constantly in like a whirlwind of paranoia and focusing on others. And it's great to be there for others, and that's why I go on my phone at all. Because like if I'm honest, like if I didn't have my friends, like I just wouldn't have social media or my phone. Realistically, like there's no other reason, right? It's my job and I get that, but just like I wouldn't need something continuously there the way I do because I have my friends. And so it's like programming everything for me. Yeah, I'm pulling the famous blanket out. It had to happen. I'm sorry, it's getting chilly. I turned on the radiator, but nothing's warming up. So when I turned off my phone, like my biggest worry, I think, was like, what if something bad happens? What if someone needs me? This, that, and the other. Continuously thinking about other people outside of myself. And I realized like if something bad did happen, it wouldn't be my fault if I wasn't there, if I really needed to be off my phone, which I did. So it was like taking that blame away from me. Like no one else was putting it on me but myself. Like realistically, you know, nothing even happened, so no blame was put on anyone, but just like got paranoid again. Ultimately, like no, not everyone is gonna be happy with your decisions. You might as well just fucking do everything for yourself. And that's not to say be selfish. You know, if I was selfish, I probably wouldn't have even worried about other people, but self-aware and self-caring and self-loving simultaneously in one big scribble, basically. I did feel like I was going insane, so I think it was the best decision I could have made. So I'm going to talk about like what it did, what I did in that time, etc, etc. One of the things which isn't important but is such a big deal to me is I fully binged. Okay, I binge shows left, right, center. In the past month, I've probably watched 4 different shows and about 10 movies. I'm a binger. I don't care. But I fully watched season 1 and season 2 of Big Little Lies. I'm obsessed. I am fully obsessed. I was so engrossed in it, and if there isn't a season 3, I'll cry. I've never had like an affinity for the people in it, like Reese Witherspoon and Nicole Kidman. But after watching that, oh my god, I love them so much. It's so good. It's so good, and that was getting me through. It was really getting me through because I was like freaking out the first few days, and watching it, I was like home. And the theme song is so good. Like it's on my playlist now, and I listen to it every day. It's so good. So yeah, that's just one thing. The most important thing for me that I did in that time, however, is I think about a day or 2 before I turned my phone off, I got hit with this book idea, and that's how my best book ideas come along. You know, it's nothing that can be forced, and I haven't written for a year. I used to write a book every 3 months, so I have 4 books written, and I've missed writing so much. It's who I am. For a very long time, it was my whole personality, and I still feel like it is, even though I hadn't written for a year, and I was going insane that I hadn't written for a year, and out of nowhere this idea hit me. I was like, oh my god, this is good. Like I genuinely actually really am passionate about this one, and I think I can put it off because I've had ideas, but after a day they really just fade off and don't become anything important, and this one stuck, and I was like, oh my god, I think I can do this. And I think if I had kept my phone on, I wouldn't have like gotten straight into it and powered through. And so it's been a week now since I turned off my phone, and I have written 40,000 words which is going from not being able to write 1 word a day for a year to in 7 days 40k words. It's so good, and I still have 40k-ish to write, but like I said, I'm not on my phone still, you know, it's not fully off, but you know, so I'm so happy. Being off my phone has helped me so much because I don't get as distracted, and I don't procrastinate as much as I would if I had my phone around. So now I'm going to talk about the things that it helped with me mentally. The one thing that I realized the most, I think, was it allowed me to take my time with everything. I don't know how, and I don't know why, and I don't know the science behind it, but being on your phone, you're just constantly feeling like you're in a rush, and I don't know if that's just me, but I just constantly feel like I'm in a rush, and there's a lot of pressure that you don't even realize that you kind of take on, and a lot of pressure you put on yourself, and I was constantly feeling like I had to do this, I had to do that. Now, I'm still working as hard and doing everything I need to do, but I just took my time, you know, and I think in one sense, it felt like time was going so quick, and in one sense, it made time go slower. So it was kind of nice to not know what day it was and to just be doing my thing. I really slowed down, you know, like I wasn't hyper like focused on doing 100 things at once kind of thing. I slept better, got into better routines, and like I said, I genuinely focused on me, my emotions, and how I'm feeling. Another thing, which I don't know is not going to be you know, something for everyone, but it really helped me trust my spirituality. And I felt for a while near the end, like just before my social media break, that it was not fading, but I was having like internal conflict with it, because when you're in the spiritual community on Twitter, it's really hard because you're constantly throwing information. The planets are in this, and this affects this, and if you have this in your chart, it means this, and oh, and I did this reading, and this is gonna, and it's just constant information, and it can not help at all with paranoia, which I have, and anxiety, which I have, and depression, which I'm easing off of. and it really doesn't help. And that's why they always say, like, use discernment, but it doesn't help. You can know something is not for you, and it can still send you down a loop. So that's why that's another reason why I took a social media break. But it helped. I think also there are exchanges, and my spiritual friends help me out when I'm going through something with their intuition, with readings, and this allowed me to step back and do those stuff for myself. And I don't often trust reading for myself. Like, I'm amazing reading for other people. Like, I pride myself with that. It's my job. But when I'm reading for myself, I fear the cards picking up my anxieties and seeing the worst cards, and my intuition, and you know, I trust my intuition more than I trust reading for myself, but it's still an issue in terms of, is this my intuition, or is this my anxiety, or is it, you know? And I think it's helped me, taking that time away has helped me trust myself more. You know, like I did one reading for myself, and I felt so balanced, and I felt so grounded, and the cards that came out turned out to be accurate because I asked about something specific, and I was like, oh my god, I can trust myself, kind of thing. And so it's helping me be more in tune with the universe and my guides and myself and my talents, and I like that. I like that a lot. I missed being able to rely on myself in a spiritual way, because, you know, when I first started, I didn't have the fears and that stuff in my head. I was so, like, confident, I guess, about myself and and what I was doing. And so, like, I used to read for myself a lot, and I was like, yeah, this makes sense. That it faded quickly. but it's good now, and I'm happy that it's good now. Yeah, it helped a lot with that. I think it does loads of things, being off your phone. I feel like I've been able to just have more peace of mind. Like, you know, I've just been less somehow being on my phone. I'm constantly in the past, the future, and the present in a negative way. And being off of it, I'm like, step back, nothing but this moment right now matters, realistically. And I'm still having my moments, but not as bad, and that's really good. And yeah, I think the whole point of this is to say, like, if you need a break, just fucking take it seriously. There is no point. That taking time for yourself just will never have a negative effect, realistic. It just won't. It will do much more for you than it will harm you, and it won't harm you at all, in my opinion. But yeah, that's where I am, and it's good, and it's great. And I'm still enjoying that, and I think I've actually enjoyed making videos more, and because I'm in the present moment, I'm not worrying about turning my camera off and going on my phone, and yeah, it's just the little things. And so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will see you in the next one. I'm sorry that this was like a bit different, but I have some really exciting content coming up. I'm looking forward to that. I think you guys will probably prefer more than this, but I will see you next time. I love you very much. Goodbye.